Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Accusing the Election Commission of India of stealing votes, leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, has claimed what they have discovered is an atom bomb which will make the ECI invisible when it explodes. Now, Rahul Gandhi was speaking to the reporters in the Parliament House complex, and where he said that he did have suspicions first in Madhya Pradesh, then in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, and then in Maharashtra. Congress took this issue a step further and got it investigated at the state level. And now he says that it is an open and shut case. Election Commission is resorting to vote theft for the BJP. This is what Rahul Gandhi has said. And in fact, LOP's assertions come on a day when leaders of the India bloc submitted a joint letter to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Om Birla, demanding a discussion on the special intensive revision of the electoral rolls in Bihar. But let's listen into what Rahul Gandhi actually said when he was talking to the reporters today in Parliament, and then we'll get going with our discussion. Let's listen.
Okay. और आप सबको पता लग जाएगा, जैसे ही हमने ये रिलीज किया, पूरे देश को पता लग जाएगा कि इलेक्शन कमीशन वोटर चोरी करा रहा है। किसके लिए करा रहा है? किसके लिए करा रहा है? बीजेपी के लिए करा रहा है। ओपन एंड शट है, नो क्वेश्चन। हमें मध्य प्रदेश में सस्पिशन था, लोकसभा में सस्पिशन था, महाराष्ट्र में वो थोड़ा आगे गया, स्टेट लेवल पे हमें लगा कि यहाँ पे चोरी हुई है। वोटर एडिशन हुआ था, 1 करोड़ वोटर्स ऐड हुए थे। फिर हम थोड़ा डिटेल में गए, हमने कहा देखो अब इलेक्शन कमीशन तो मदद नहीं कर रहा है, तो थोड़ी ग्रैन्युलैरिटी में जाना है, गहराई में जाना है। तो हमने अपना ही इन्वेस्टिगेशन करवाया, उसमें 6 महीने लगे, और जो हमें मिला है वो एटम बॉम्ब है। मतलब एटम बॉम्ब है, फटेगा तो आप इलेक्शन कमीशन आपको दिखेगा नहीं हिंदुस्तान में। थैंक यू। रक्षाबंधन के बाद बिहार जाने वाले हैं। अच्छा, एक और बात जो सबसे जरूरी बात है, और मैं ये आपको हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं, कुछ भी हो जाए हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको, क्योंकि आप हिंदुस्तान के खिलाफ काम कर रहे हो। ये ट्रीजन है और कम, इससे कम नहीं है। तो आप याद रखिए, आप कहीं भी हो, रिटायर्ड हो, कुछ भी हो, ठीक है, हम आपको ढूंढ के निकालेंगे। थैंक यू। कर्नाटक शुरुआत करेंगे सर इस बात की, कर्नाटक को लेकर भी आपने।
So Rahul Gandhi clearly saying there that vote theft is equivalent to treason, and he's not going to leave anybody, even if it is the retired officials. So could Rahul Gandhi's expose become a turning point? Now, we do not know as of now how much merit this claim has. What we do know is that Rahul Gandhi is going to Bengaluru, and he will be in Bangalore on 5th of August, where apparently there's a protest at the Freedom Park. And then he's going to give a memorandum to the Election Commission. And this expose, what I know, has got to do something with the addition and the deletion of voters, which his own investigation has found out. That is in Karnataka, where 2 Lok Sabha constituencies were picked up, and almost similar to what the allegations have been in Maharashtra. And now just ahead of the Bihar elections, how important is this claim by Rahul Gandhi? Could this become a turning point? And also it comes on a day when India bloc is getting aggressive. They want a discussion now on special intensive revision. They've written a letter to Speaker Om Birla. Now, I don't know whether he will be ready to do that or not, but there are lots of question marks still on the SIR. Today was 1st of August, and the Election Commission was supposed to upload the draft electoral roll, but people have been accusing that there have been mass deletions, there have been a mass exclusion, and it's not just about 65 lakh voters' names being deleted, but it could be above a crore. That's a huge number. So we'll try and discuss all of this. How big is Rahul Gandhi's claim? Could this become a turning point? What happens to SIR from now? Not to forget, the Supreme Court hearing is on 12th and 13th of August. So joining me this evening is lawyer and activist Arun Agarwal, who's been aggressively working on this issue. He's been helping the lawyers who are pursuing this case in the Supreme Court. And I'm also hoping to be joined by CWC member and Congress admin in charge, Gurdeep Sappal. He could have joined at 8 o'clock, but I think there's some meeting which has come, and that's why he said that most probably he'll join a bit late. So he might join maybe after 15 or 20 minutes. So we'll start with Arunji. Thank you so much for joining. And how big is this claim made by Rahul Gandhi about this big expose, which he says is an open and shut case? What do you think could be the contours of this expose, though he hasn't divulged many details?
Niluji, I have no doubt that what he is saying is correct, because this is what we have been suspecting all along, that this BJP has been rigging election, pre-election, through EVM, during elections and post-elections, by maneuvering the figures and adding on and all that. We have been making this claim. Now we are finding that statistically, they have been rigging the election through what is known as addition and deletion of votes. And this has been going on wholesale because, see, they have no qualms of conscience. Earlier they collaborated with the British, and what he says, this amounts to treason, is very correct. Because, I mean, what they were doing in the pre-independence era by collaborating with the British was tantamounting to treason, but not defined as such. Now, in the post-independence era, if they choose to rig the elections by addition and deletion, then it is nothing but hijacking of the democracy. And anybody who is hijacking the democracy is equivalent to, though not defined, but is, it's an assault on the republic. It is assault on the democracy. So, to that extent, he is very right. The second part where he says, ki chhodenge nahi, again he is right, because, see, they have left a paper trail of all their misdeeds. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Elections are not like dealing in cash, where you take black money and give it to the electorate and get them to vote, and there is no paper trail, and later on you can say that we have won by a thumping majority by not bribing the electorate with 1,000 rupee notes. So this and that here is a paper trail. Now, why it is a paper trail? Because wholesale addition and deletion can only take place through Form 6, 7 and 8. And 8 is transfer of residence. And for all these, you have to file an application. And that application is a record which they have to keep for 3 years, which they can't destroy. And anybody can have access to that record. So the point that I'm trying to make is that why has SIR come into being? And why is it being implemented in the entire nation? Because this rigging was going on for the last 3 years, at least till the last Lok Sabha election. And Election Commission is aware of it. To erase that record, they are now saying we will have intensive survey and we will take 2003 as the base and not 2004, not 2024 or 23 as the base, so that the entire electoral roll will be junked. That is a master strategy to cover up their crime, and eternal vigilance is the price of democracy. Otherwise, if we are not vigilant, they will hijack it. So what he is saying,
right? No, but Election Commission also has responded to what Rahul Gandhi has said today about the big vote theft. Let's put out a tweet which has been put out by Election Commission. Now look at this. Election Commission of India's further response to Lok Sabha LOP Rahul Gandhi. Point number one, ECI sends a mail to him on 12th June 2025. He does not come. Point number two, ECI sends him a letter on 12th June 2025. He does not respond. Point number three, he has never sent any letter to ECI on any issue whatsoever. Point number four, it is very strange that he is making wild allegations and has now even started threatening EC and its staff. That's deplorable. Now, ECI ignores all such irresponsible statements and asks all its staff to continue working impartially and transparently. Now, I'm wondering, because this tweet is by ANI, and I'm wondering whether this is Election Commission's language. Mr. Agarwal,
No, no.
what would you really say to the response of Election Commission?
Has ANI given commission to the Election Commission to put out its tweet and get viewership? Why doesn't, and who the, I mean, I should
Keep
not
this
be
tweet
using
on.
real language. But
Let's keep this tweet on the screen for a while. Yes, Mr. Agarwal, go
what
ahead.
does the Election Commission think of itself? See, I mean, is Gyanesh Kumar such a big man that he will only interact with Rahul Gandhi? Rahul Gandhi has much bigger things and he's got larger responsibility than Gyanesh Kumar. And his people have been trying to meet him. And this man has not been meeting. हम मिलेंगे तो खाली नंबर 1 से मिलेंगे. अरे भाई, who are you? You are a stooge of the Home Minister who has appointed you to carry out NRC in the guise of citizenship, which is not your remit. That is what is your introduction. This man, 93 bureaucrats, all retired, all senior to him, of which 56 were IAS, and I'm sure he has worked under them. They write a letter and this man doesn't even acknowledge it. And they say that we have been writing to you and you never respond. Are you manna from heaven fallen that you will not respond?
No,
And
but
that is why, no,
but
this letter, this correspondence, this is with me. And it has been widely reported. And that is why they have written an open letter signed by 93 bureaucrats, of which 56 of them are retired IAS officers.
no, but Mr. Agarwal, what does
And
this
they
response?
have, and please let me complete. They have accused him of forgery. They have accused him of using vile means to nullify the universal suffrage that was given under the Constitution. It is not a letter that has to be taken lightly, and neither the allegations over there. If this man has any courage or any shame, let him respond to the letters written by his superiors who have run the country much better than he is running. Every one of the 56 officers.
This response by the Election Commission to the claims of Rahul Gandhi, does it look like a defensive response? They know that they are caught.
He's a coward. He's responding through ANI. Does he not have a letter pad? Who is NI? It is a stooge of the government. Time and time again, the biased reporting. Earlier, it was supposed to be a competitor or this thing to the PTI. Now it has fallen on pitiful days. We have seen the types of interview it dishes out and how he has given, having developed, and I'm not making a very light allegation, having developed closeness with the government. They have a monopoly on whatever the government wants to say. And if any one of the YouTubers play it, the government doesn't give access to them. And if they play it, they start demanding lakhs and lakhs for infringement of their copyright.
But I don't want to be discussing ANI today, but the point is that the claims which have been made by Rahul Gandhi, we do not know yet the contours of their expose. What we do know, and what I read about 3-4 days ago, and he also spoke to the reporters in Parliament where he said that we had asked for some electoral rolls. We digitalized it ourselves. Then we underwent a special investigation on our own, and then we have found some baffling details. And I don't know whether he's going to be disclosing that or not on 5th. But could this claim by Rahul Gandhi open a Pandora's box as far as the electoral fraud in the country is concerned.
See, rigging is the dharma of BJP. That's how they were when they were fighting with the British government. You know, that is how, leading to the killing of the Mahatma Gandhi, and now to desecration of everything that is Gandhiism. Whether they like it or not, that is all that they have been doing. Rewarding people who mimic the murder of Gandhi with a parliamentary seat. So let's not get into all that, what the BJP represents. The fact of the matter is that their rigging has been caught. Wholesale rigging. What they have been suspecting, and unfortunately there is a paper trail. Now what has happened, which is very peculiar, see, my job lifelong has been to see, how to catch these scamsters. Now what has happened is that in every other state, the other government, some other government is there, except in some states like Jharkhand or in the south or in West Bengal, where they don't dare to do massive rigging. They do subliminal rigging. Now that this rigging was going on, and all these BLOs and EROs, they are none but they are government employees. Now in Karnataka, they have their government. So they have access to all this information. Otherwise, so ye tala band karke, they will never provide the information. I will give you an example today. You know how intransparent and how crooked this election commission is. You see, they say you put your EPIC card on the electoral roll officer of the state. In Karnataka, where I am situated, I put down my EPIC number. So you get who is your BLO, who is your ERO, and who is your district election officer, right? And their phone numbers. The BLO's phone number is a wrong number. The ERO doesn't pick up the number. The phone number of the district electoral officer is not there. This is how they are functioning. I wanted to know which office should I go to demand the documents which I am entitled under section 32 and rule 32 and rule 33 of the electoral roll rules of 1960. Hai hi nahi. So this is the petty way in which they are cheating and they are depriving us of information. When Mahmood Pracha asked for the information, within 24 hours of losing the case, they went running to their master, the law ministry and the whatever ministry, and got the rules changed. That no, we will not provide this. If the election commission has not been functioning in a transparent way, if it has lost the confidence of the opposition, and if to a certain measure it is being protected by the court, and I'm saying this with full responsibility, then the only conclusion that the people have to draw is that democracy has been hijacked. Otherwise, any person, any decent human being, or at the helm of the affairs, when the matter was under challenge on the appointment of the election commission, would not have in post haste appointed the election commission. And the courts keeping quiet is a very sad commentary on the functioning of our different arms of the democracy, both the executive and the court, after having said that we will take them to task if they appoint it without the case being disposed of.
But, Mr. Agarwal, this is becoming a case of utter shamelessness now.
Yes, everybody is shameless.
No, look at the India bloc leaders. Every day they have been protesting outside the premises of the parliament. Today they have written a letter to the Lok Sabha speaker that let's have a discussion because it's a very important issue. It involves it involves our democracy. But even then, that we do not know whether the discussion will take place or not. But can we link Rahul Gandhi's claim with what is happening in Bihar's SIR in any?
See, if you are indulging in voter suppression and voter addition, which is a practice even in USA, let me be a little fair to them, that there also they are crooked people, and here also we have our own bunch of crooked people. This stealing and democracy and all this electoral bond money which is not accounted for is going, these IAS people have written that it is rent seekers. These BLOs and EROs have become rent seekers. I have not written it. Rent seeker means what? Bribe for votes. So if that is what is happening in this country, then, and if the opposition comes to become
I know of that
wise,
letter. I know of that letter you're talking about. There were some 93 bureaucrats who've written an
yes,
open letter, and they've written a number of points in that. But this bit on rent seeking, if you could explain, because people would not understand how these BLOs and EROs are involved and indulging
you
themselves in
see,
rents, which means
you
that
see,
are they, I'm asking a question to you, and if you could explain that, that
I
are
will,
they deleting the votes or adding votes for money? Are they doing
yes,
it for money?
money or patronage so that they can be promoted and given favors, or they can be allowed to take bribes. See, they do on, if you see the videos of News Laundry and Dhruv Rathi, where they clearly, there is one BLO, she lady, she's saying that all of a sudden I got so many thousands of votes, something votes to, or hundreds of votes to include. And I was given orders that you have to include it. So all this has been going on in an organized way. It was below the threshold. And what happens is that anyway they are purchasing 500 rupees or 1000 rupees for a vote, which is the most open secret. And they spend a corresponding money. If the BLO wants, he says, all right, here you take and you delete so many names, or the ERO is responsible, and the process is not complied with. And that is why they are not making these documents in public domain. If I am responsible for getting your name deleted, are you not entitled to know that it was I who filled a form 7 and said that you have shifted residence, and you were not given any notice and your vote was deleted? This is a very simple thing, a question that I ask. But Election Commission does not make public all the Form 7s and Form 6 and Form 8. We are glad that Mr. Sapal has
CWC member and Congress admin in charge, Gurdeep Sappal, has also joined. But why it's important to speak to Gurdeep is also because he's part of the empowered group of leaders and experts, which was constituted recently to look at all this electoral fraud which is happening. Thank you so much, Gurdeep, for joining. And
Thank you.
let me
the
just
expo-
complete two sentences before Gurdeep ji responds.
okay, Gurdeep, go ahead, and then I'll come to Gurdeep. Yes, please.
Under Section 32 or Rule 32 of the Electoral Rules 1960, all these Form 6, 7, 8, they are part of the documents. They have been defined over there. Under 12 and 13, the enumeration and deletion, all that. And under 33, they are supposed to preserve it. And under 32, they are supposed to preserve it for 3 years. And under 33, any person can ask for those forms. And it is this voter addition and deletion is taking place through these 3 forms. And these people, Panna Pramukhs and their agent, so-called BLA, they are submitting these forms in large numbers. So what was happening was that in other states, it was difficult, and these people, because they have committed fraud, they are guarding these documents very jealously. So in other states, it was not possible to lay hands on this document. In Karnataka, these are BLOs are part-time. Most of them are government employees. So some of the ERO may be full-time, but below them, all of them are government employees. So here it was easier, relatively easier to get the records which was not being made available in other states. And that is why when Rahul Gandhi says, Ki I have got concrete 100% evidence, he means business, and he has those records to embarrass the entire election commission and to show that this rigging was not only taking place in Karnataka, but every subsequent election to Karnataka, this rigging was taking place. On to Gurdeep ji.
Yeah. Gurdeep, Election Commission has already dismissed, and I would like to show you that tweet on the screen so that you can take a look at it. Shubham, if you're backstage and if you can put out that tweet, what Election Commission says in 5 pointers, they've said that ECI sends a mail to Rahul Gandhi on 12 June 2025. He doesn't come. Then a letter sent to him on 12th June. Again, he doesn't respond. Then he has never sent any letter to ECI on any issue whatsoever. It is very strange that he's making wild allegations and has now even started threatening EC and its staff. That's deplorable. And ECI ignores all such irresponsible statements and asks all its staff to continue working impartially and transparently. I would really like you to respond to this tweet which has been put out by ANI, and they've completely dismissed this open and shut case theory which Rahul Gandhi claimed this afternoon.
Nilu, it is very unfortunate that ECI has responded the way it has done so. What ECI is effectively doing is separating Rahul Gandhi from Congress party. ECI is treating Rahul Gandhi as an individual, not as a leader of Congress party. ECI is obfuscating the fact that Congress party has repeatedly given representations. Officially, Congress party delegations have been meeting since December. Many delegations have met. Many letters have been written from Congress party side. They are official Congress party correspondence. By picking up a leader and saying that he has not done, ECI cannot absolve itself of its own responsibility. ECI has to respond to the official communication by Congress party, which is duly authorized by Congress President and Congress Working Committee. Now, ECI cannot dictate, and it has never happened in past. And the very fact that ECI is trying to dictate puts a question mark on ECI that who should be writing to ECI? Now, EC should dictate that. Who should attend the meeting? Should EC dictate that? Who should respond to ECI in a party? Should EC dictate that? Has Election Commission of India become a super political body which can dictate and give directions about the conduct of intra-party business? Is this what ECI wants to say? This ECI, the very fact that ECI has given this response today, puts ECI's own credibility into danger like never before. Will ECI tell why it has not responded to the letters of Congress party, except the first letter where it gave a detailed answer? The crux of the answer was that we are following the SOP. Now, when Congress party said that as per your SOP, there is a paper trail of Form 6, paper trail of speed post by the EROs, paper trail of BLOs who have given the reports for the new voters or deleted voters, and we are seeking information on that. ECA said no. When we asked for voter list, ECI said no, saying that voter lists are already there. Without telling people of India that the voter list that are available with a political party before elections are the one finalized on the last date of nomination. And after the last date, there's another list called supplementary list and another list called additional supplementary list, which is not shared with political parties or candidates. That list is only with the polling officers. We don't have a copy of those lists. And that is why we are saying, A, the list that you gave, they are used during the polling day in lakhs and lakhs of booths they are distributed. There's no way to collect them back in the original form. They are soiled, they are torn, and nobody collects them back. So if you have given it once, what is the harm in giving them again? And then why are you hiding the fact that the supplementary list and additional supplementary list were never given to political parties? Why is Election Commission not answering to that? Also, why is the Election Commission resisting the suggestion of Supreme Court to accept Aadhaar card and voter list in voter card in SIR? There should be a logic. Has the Election Commission communicated that logic? Only thing is said that there can be duplication, but the very documents it is asking can also be duplicated. That is what Supreme Court commented in last hearing. But
Right.
Election Commission has no response to it. So issue is that Election Commission, when it got the court's direction to share the CCTV videos of the polling booth with the candidate, they changed the rule. When the pressure mounted on Election Commission to still give the videos, They further changed the rule and said that after 45 days, videos will be deleted. So what is it that Election Commission is hiding? And now Election Commission says that since Rahul Gandhi did not write, it will not entertain. It will not entertain Congress Party's official communication. That is our point. This entire belligerent stance adopted by Election Commission only points to this, that Election Commission has become a player instead of the ombudsman that it was supposed to be in the Constitution of India. It
But
itself has become a player, and it is taking sides, and it is attributing motives to the political parties. Till date, Election Commission has not held a single press conference on SIR. Till
yes,
date, Election Commission has not ordered investigation of the lapses that various famous YouTubers have brought it out and local media has brought it out. It has not even attempted to investigate the veracity. At least people of India don't know. So Election Commission would spring a surprise 3 months before the elections to do a wholesale revision. Election Commission has changed its role from enabling voters to vote, registering them as voters, all eligible adults, to an agency which is now verifying the citizenship. Election Commission was never supposed to do. The mandate of Election Commission was to ensure that all adults who are eligible are able to vote. Citizenship is the domain of Home Ministry. Why did Election Commission get into it? Till date, there's no response to this. So our question is, Election Commission has to answer all of these questions. Instead of answering this, it is now attacking the messenger. But we know what is going on. We caught hold of it in Maharashtra. We caught hold of it in Uttarakhand. We caught hold now in Bangalore. And that
no,
is
but the
why
first
that
time,
is why
Gurdeep.
Rahul Gandhi is going to Bangalore. He'll have a protest march and place it before people. The bona fide list. I heard Mr. Arun Agarwal saying that some lapses have always been there. We also agree. There have been lapses in voter list, and any voter list will never be 100% sanitized. The problem is when earlier it was happening, it was being done by political activists to benefit their candidates. Now there's a connivance or facilitation by election commission's processes.
No, but
That
Gurdeep,
is why that is why we are saying that this is an issue that merits a bigger response, a more considerate response from election commission, and it is actually condemnable that election commission has come out to attack Rahul Gandhi and question his stand rather than answering the questions that Congress party has duly posed
right.
before election commission.
No, I think that's rightly pointed out that they are trying to isolate Rahul Gandhi and not respond to the letters or the kind of questions which Congress as a party has asked them. But I would like to come back to the expose which Rahul Gandhi is talking about. You said that he's going to be in Bangalore on 5th of August. What could be the contours of this expose? We do not know. What
No,
we do know is
no,
that something related to the electoral rolls. If you could share it with us.
no. Our thing is, we have seen some records. Our team worked on it for 6 months, and we have arrived at some conclusion. Those findings, Rahul ji will place before India, people of India, in a press conference, and then there'll be a protest march in Bangalore. So till that press conference happens, even I am not authorized to share because that will dilute the information that we are going to put before people of India.
But do you believe that this could open a Pandora's box if at all we are to believe Rahul Gandhi, whatever he's claiming about this 100% open and shut case? Could this open a Pandora's box? Because if it has happened in Karnataka, likewise, it could have happened in other states as well. So, could this be a turning point as far as the electoral fraud or tracking the electoral fraud is concerned in the country?
No, I will not use such phrases or adjectives. I'll say instead of Pandora's box, it is another nail in the coffin of credibility of ECI.
Okay.
And every such thing is proving that something is wrong in the way the entire voter lists are being handled by Election Commission of India. And it will also place before people of India that despite our total cooperation with Election Commission in the initial months of this year, Election Commission took a belligerent stand. Today, Election Commission says that Rahul ji has said that those officers will not be spared, even if they retire. And it amounts to threat. But this same Election Commission refuses to share with people of India that our letters to Election Commission in January, in December, January, February were very polite letters, where we specifically wrote that we are not doubting the intentions. We want to do a internal investigation. So we are requesting for Election Commission to give us the electoral rolls in electronic form. These were the requests that Congress party was repeatedly making to Election Commission. When our delegations went and met Election Commission of India, our tone was always of a request to Election Commission, ki, look, we have found something, we want to verify it. Please help us to verify it, and please do your own internal verification also. This was what Congress party was doing.
Right.
Problem is with Election Commission, which refused to cooperate. Problem is with Election Commission, which changed the rules once these issues came up. Problem is with Election Commission, which steadfastly, even after telling in High Court that it will decide about giving the voter list in 3 months, subsequently after 3 months, it decided it will not give the voter list.
Right.
But what
But
is the so Election Commission forgets that all the cooperative stance, all the spirit of collaboration with Election Commission that Congress party has been adopting since last few months has been completely ignored by Election Commission. So much so, when on SIR, when delegation went, they started even dictating who will attend the meeting and who will not. This
yes.
has never happened. This has never
Right.
happened in India.
No, but Gurdeep, that what you're describing is, which means very clearly that the patience is wearing thin now. And is it true that now India Bloc in Bihar is planning a widespread protest on this, and where Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi apparently are going to join? And I was reading it somewhere that's from 9th of August. I think it's going to start. So if you could share some details, and then I'll go back to Arunji.
You see, we have twin challenge. We have to protect the voters so that they are not illegitimately disenfranchised. And we also have to contest election. The fair play ground, which was the duty of Election Commission, no longer exists. Election Commission has refused to entertain any complaint regarding SIR. And we are left with no option but to go to people of Bihar. And there's a full campaign now planned for several days where the India Alliance leaders, including Shri Rahul Gandhi, including Shri Tejasvi Yadav, will be part of that entire campaign. We need to make people aware. We will keep on fighting the court, our legal battle. We will keep on fighting against the injustice being done by Election Commission of India. And we will parallelly, simultaneously keep up our preparations to contest election also. Because if we don't do that, then whoever has designed this confusion will be the ultimate benefactor of this. And that cannot be allowed.
Right.
Democracy cannot be allowed to be captured by few people by disallowing fair playground.
Right. So, Arunji, now if you look at the picture and what Gurdeep also has described, that they did try so many times, but if Election Commission has to remain dismissive, courts, we do not know how they are going to respond. They anyways haven't expressed any kind of urgency in these matters. And now with this big expose of Congress party or Rahul Gandhi, what he has claimed about the vote theft, where do you think that this is really heading to now? And if protests are going to take place, I really don't see any direction. Where is it really heading to? If the Election Commission always has to keep dismissing anything which is brought up, then what is the way out there?
No, Nilu, I'm glad that Gurdeep ji is here so that I can ask him some questions. I mean, you know that I have at least done more than 100, 200 programs just on this corrupt election commission. And there is a simmering discontent all around. I read the comments regarding the to put it politely non-level playing field, and to put it in the language of the 56 out of 93 civil servants who wrote the letter, that it is a deliberate sabotage of the election process. So the people are far more ahead of the political parties in their discontent. How do you harvest that discontent? They are blaming the political parties of realizing that the election has been stolen and not doing anything. See, this is the one
Arunji,
of the biggest problems, and I encounter it all the time. So, you
Arunji,
know, and believe me, I mean, I have been involved with that petition over there. And before I end my question, I would also like to enlighten you on a particular aspect, and I maintain it very ferociously, that in the court you will not be able to prevent SIR, but EPIC and Aadhaar will be allowed. Number one. Number two, this trailer of draft roll has no meaning. When the final roll will come, it would have sanitized at least 15% of your supporters. And on that basis, the election will take place. So, my question to you is number one, are you going to defer the agitation in Bihar, which was slated from 3rd onwards, till the election petition is heard by the court? And number two, that if the election commission does not listen, then is there a possibility of not only asking people to come on the street but to boycott the elections? Because there is no point in fighting a rigged elections, and that is their sole motive which is going on. And I'll tell you, I mean, pre-poll rigging, post-poll rigging, and rigging during election, how all these three things take place, of which you are also very well aware. So I would like you to please
Arunji,
Yeah.
respond.
I am very well aware of the anguish of certain citizens who are aware and the civil society. And I also get many calls from them asking what political parties are doing. But I think the anguish is justified, but uh, this entire dissatisfaction from political party is rather misplaced. Let us revisit what happened in last 6 months, 7 months. Nobody raised this issue but Congress party. We discovered what was happening. We put it out in the public domain after we studied Maharashtra election. Rahul ji then did a press conference. He raised it in the parliament. We went to courts. And even now, dozens of election petitions from Maharashtra and Haryana elections are now filed in the courts. So we kept on engaging with the election commission. We kept on raising the issue, making people aware. Now to expect that suddenly we could go and do something very revolutionary to throw away election commission right in the beginning and say that no, we are not going to contest elections. It was not to be there. In last 6 months, when we raised this issue, and I can tell you, when I myself raised this issue, uh, and I was one of the initial people said, no, you are finding an alibi for your loss in Maharashtra. They said, no, ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं है, ये तो आप बहाना ढूंढ रहे हैं. People started saying कि आप जब mislead कर रहे हैं, because ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. From there, we have come now to this condition that election commission stands fully exposed, that people are now aware. There's a credibility in what we are saying, and that has come because of sustained campaign and sustained expose by Congress party, and more specifically by our leader Rahul Gandhi. When he started saying, raising this question, he pinned his own personal credibility on this. Today people are saying that he was right. But when he started saying this, I can tell you many people who were traditional supporters of Congress and liberal politics were also questioning him. Okay, what are you saying? Your BLAs were not there. Your agents did not did enough work. What was your party doing when this was happening? These were all the questions that we were facing, which even Rahulji was facing. But undeterred by this attack, we maintained, and Rahulji consistently raised this issue. And today, this issue is before the entire nation. And now there's a credibility in what we are saying. Now people believe that what Rahulji was saying was correct, and democracy is being stolen by rigging the voter list. Now I come to your second part. What are we going to do? I just now said that Rahulji, along with Shri Tejasvi Yadav and other leaders of India Alliance, are going to hit roads in Bihar. We are going to take it to people of Bihar. A, he is going to Bangalore in a protest march, where before that he will expose the findings that we got in Lok Sabha elections in that seat in Karnataka. We are going to present. These are all our attempts. We cannot always be seen only in a agitating mode. We have to do our homework. When Election Commission did not give us even voter lists, can you
I think
imagine the amount of work that we put in to arrive the conclusion that we did? These are all background activities that we are doing. And last question: we are there to save democracy. Do you think that if we say, oh, no, there will be no election, we will not participate in elections, there won't be any elections, then we'll be pushing the entire process towards dictatorial form of elections, which happen in so many countries, where only the ruling powers they contest, and
let
बाकी जो है
Arunji,
बाहर रह के सिर्फ चिल्लाते हैं. That
let
cannot
let
be.
let
We are
let
walking a
Arunji
very tight
respond to
rope
this.
where we
Gurdeep,
have
let
to make people aware, where we have to contest, and we have to win.
yeah.
Gurudev,
Yes, yes,
let me
Arunji.
let me tell you something, that it's not the opposition party or Congress or anybody alone who are
I didn't say it alone.
literally who
I
are
did not say
losing
alone.
sleep.
Arunji,
No,
Arunji.
no,
Sorry, sorry. Let me first say
forgive me. No, no,
something.
forgive me
No,
for
let me
saying.
say one line. One line.
Ah,
I'll say
hmm.
I responded on Congress party's role because you and other people are questioning our commitment to this cause. We completely acknowledge the role and the efforts of civil society groups, including yourself, which have actually made this issue mainstream. It is a complete acknowledgement. What I am saying is, please acknowledge that what we are also doing for last 6 months.
No, no.
Yes, Arunji,
Good.
please.
I have a very simple question to ask. You see, you can understand that in the country, good number of good people have come together, and they cannot tolerate the hijacking of the democracy which they are seeing is happening before their eyes. It is not always that the Congress party or the political parties are going to go court, but it is the civil society which is
Yes.
being going to the court. I
Yes.
myself have been at the background and sometimes a petitioner in the EVM, and I've done from that EVM case, right, which started in April, probably in these more than a year. I've been constantly on it. My specific question to you is this: how do you harvest this discontent into a political movement? Freedom movement was not only about leaders, it was about so many people who felt that they were being deprived of their freedom, and they had a role in self governance. So they all came together. Today, if I try to, if I find something in law and try to communicate, like I was telling you, that we have a right to this document, and mind you, that right is not given only to the political parties. The word is any person can get those forms 6, 7, and 8 through which the rigging act has taken place. So, how do you assimilate along the way? See, this is what the BJP is very good at, assimilating discontent, which
Arunji,
which there should be
I'll
some method that, if I want to, I don't want to get into specifics and embarrass anybody. But if somebody
I'll
is
I'll I'll, I'll come to
is
that.
selfless in trying to
Uh,
preserve
Please allow me
democracy.
to respond.
Yes,
Please
please.
allow me to respond to it. First of all, as you also said, the stakeholders in a democracy are not just the political parties. Citizens of a nation are also the stakeholders of democracy. And as long as the citizens are aware, only then the democracy survives. Political parties are just one of these stakeholders. So it is not the sole preserve of political parties to fight such cases. Also, we completely acknowledge and I have been very involved with the entire civil society groups who have been fighting, and you know this, and you yourself have done so many programs explaining to people what Form 6 means, what Form 7 means, and we also learn from it. So we completely acknowledge. But having said that, the question is how to harness. First of all, you said you don't want to embarrass by counting the instances. I just want to even that even in our party, even in our supporters, the level of disbelief was very high regarding this issue. It was very high. Our own people were unwilling to accept that such mass scale of rigging was organized rigging was happening in this country. So it took time for them also to be convinced. Now, thankfully and gradually, most of them are now convinced, and now they're on board. So maybe when they were having this mistrust, and they thought that this is only a alibi that we are creating to hide our defeat, then maybe you may have interacted with them and you may have got a very discouraging reply. Very fair. But the work done by people like you, work done by Shri Rahul Gandhi, has brought the issue to center stage today, that the entire issue now has credibility and people are believing it. Now comes the second point of harnessing the discontent. You see, first it had to be made credible. Now the system in our country is that every few months there's an election. Because of the staggered elections now, every few months an election comes. Now we are having Bihar, after 6 months there are again 5 state elections. So our challenge is to find what happened. Our challenge is to first explain to people of India what is happening, and now hit the streets and rally people against this gross injustice done to them, because it is the fundamental right of the individual voter which is being taken. It is not a question of just simple cancellation from voter list. Right to vote or universal franchise is the biggest right under Constitution to the citizen of India. And that right is being taken away by a design. So we are now approaching them, and that is why on 5th, Rahul ji is hitting roads with entire Congress party leadership in Bangalore, and thereafter 9th onwards in Bihar we are hitting the roads, and it is only by going to people can we
Right.
harness this. So our struggle is at several levels. One, to do our homework to find where the fault lies, which we have been doing very seriously. And you'll see in press conference of Rahul Gandhi ji on 4th that many groups within the party are now seriously sitting behind the desk and doing the homework to find out where the fault lies. And we have been discussing with several people who are not part of Congress party but are working on this issue. Number one. Number two, to tell people that this is not a escape route that we are taking. This is a genuine concern and a genuine conspiracy which has been happening, and this needs to be addressed. Third, to rally people to safeguard their right. And fourth, also to contest election. That is, again, I say the biggest thing. We, under these circumstances, we cannot walk away from elections. We have to defeat after all this. And this is the
Okay.
biggest channel. So we are working on all these fronts.
Right. So you're saying boycotting the elections wouldn't be a solution. Arunji, I'm taking concluding
I
remarks from
don't
you.
know. I don't know what happens tomorrow. These events take their own turn. But as of today, where we stand, I am a strong voter personally of not boycotting elections, because then, before the final death knell toll, you are actually accepting the defeat. No, that can't be there. It has
All
to
right.
be fought on ground. It has to be fought through. Now, I wanted to say ballot boxes. It has to be still fought through EVM. It has to be fought at every level. And I am thankful to people like you, Nilu, to our people like Arun Agarwal ji, who have been strengthening this fight and even guiding this fight. Because it is not easy for individuals to stand up to the pressure and be so candid, forthright in placing the facts before people. It's not an easy job. The reign of terror is so widespread that it is not easy for individuals to take this stand. And it is not easy for us also in the political parties to take this stand, because we were also fighting against a huge disbelief within our own parties. And thankfully, now things are better and people now believe us.
Okay, Arunji. So I'll your concluding remarks, and then I'll wind up the show. Yeah.
Remark is
Truth,
just
truth
this.
be told, Arunji, truth be told, program is never 1 hour, but today it's thankfully it's got extended to 1 hour. Tell me.
No, no. I all I have to say is this: that please, there you enjoy a tremendous amount of goodwill because people are making common cause to save a constitution which was given to us by a Dalit and which is being stolen when there is a Dalit Chief Justice. That is the tragedy, and I am very this thing in my words because it's hard hitting. So you have to find, people like us who have nothing to, we are not in the political system. We have nothing to gain. We are being selfless. We are risking ourselves. We know that if the government hits back on an individual level, we are vulnerable, yet we keep on doing it. So there should be some way where, and believe me, like these 93 bureaucrats, I mean, they have run the country. 56 of them were IAS officers. You should think about how to harness this collective energy and go together, which is very important because these people have, no expectation, no political expectation at the end of the day. If we are successful, you win or somebody else's win, somebody once becomes a minister. Those people in Karnataka, I'm telling you, when I fought the Cogentrix case, so many people were with me. Today, if I want an appointment from your tourism minister because there is an illegal golf course which belonged to the people of India and was hijacked, I can't get an appointment. This is the state of affairs. And he's a good man. And you know who I'm referring to. Mr. Patil. I mean, I still say he's a good man. But you can't. So this level of isolation and insulation from people, and have nothing to ask. I am only giving you 100, 200 crores back. It's about 124 acres of land developed where you have to put up a 5-star this thing. So you have to.
I'll not digress into
No, I'm
individual
digressing.
cases,
I'm trying to say,
but
please
I'll tell you
harness
only
this
two things.
energy. This
I'll say only
energy
two
is there
things.
for you. This
No, I'll
idle
say only two things,
energy which
sir.
has gone there, please harness it
No, no.
and find some method. That's all I
I'll
am saying.
say I'll say only two things. A, as a citizen, we all are equal stakeholders in saving this democracy. And
Yes.
whatever be may be said, there कबीर की दो बातें आती है, ठीक है? कि जो जाने पछता है, तो जिसको जितना ज्यादा मालूम है वो उतना ज्यादा परेशान होता है। आपको ज्यादा मालूम है आप ज्यादा। और दूसरा
ये बात सही।
दूसरा
That is
कि
why
कबीरा
yes.
खड़ा बाजार में लिए लुकाटी हाथ, जो घर फूके अपना चले हमारे साथ। तो इन संघर्ष में, इन स्ट्रगल्स में, people who are selfless and who have a larger concern, they only join hands, which is a fact. And B, power, whichever party may be in power, has its own character. And it is after after once you get into power, it is actually the role of civil society. It is actually the role of media to keep those in power in check. But unfortunately, BJP has crushed media, it has crushed civil society, and this balancing role and accountability seeking role has diminished throughout the country. But having said that, people in power, whichever party it may be, we may be a liberal party, a constitutional party which believes in Republican constitutional values, still this balance is always required to be there. And we are with you for creating those balance from within the party also. That much I will say to this.
Thank you so much, Gurdeep, for joining. Arunji, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.